This is not a drill. The FBI just dropped a bombshell so wild it makes the Kardashians look like Sunday school teachers. Word on the digital streets is that Chrisean Rock's name, yes, the Chrisean, chaos queen of the century, has popped up in an alleged deadly plot that's got the internet spiraling faster than Blueface after a Twitter rant. The headlines are screaming, the blogs are melting, and fans are out here playing detective with screenshots and conspiracy boards like it's CSI Instagram edition. Whether it's cold, hard evidence or just another celebrity witch hunt. This story's got everything: FBI leaks, mystery names, and enough drama to make a Lifetime movie beg for rights. How did a reality TV turned draft star end up in federal whispers about hitmen and hidden motives? The answer might just make you rethink every viral fight, every teary live stream, and every it's just entertainment excuse we've heard before. So grab your popcorn, because what's coming next will have your jaw on the floor, your phone in hand, and your trust in humanity completely deleted. This is about to get dark. It started like every other day in the chaotic universe of celebrity. Drama, a random Tuesday where Twitter fights replaced news, and people cared more about who unfollowed who than who won a Nobel Prize. But just when everyone thought Chrisean Rock's name had already been attached to every controversy imaginable, the internet got smacked with a headline so wild it could crash Wi-Fi nationwide. FBI names Chrisean Rock in ongoing murder investigation. Those exact words. You could practically hear the collective gasp echoing across social media. Even TMZ had to double-check to make sure it wasn't. It's The Onion. The FBI allegedly had new information, linking Chrisean to a deadly plot involving a mysterious figure named Ronnie Doe, a name no one had heard of until today. Yet somehow everyone suddenly had a theory about. Twitter detectives pulled up old videos, interviews, and deleted posts faster than the FBI could type case file. Within minutes, fans were claiming that Ronnie Doe had once been a studio associate, security guard, or even a distant cousin of Blueface's cousin's cousin. Basically, the internet did what it does best: create chaos, connect dots that don't exist, and turn gossip into gospel. But here's the thing. This time, it wasn't just fan fiction. Sources inside the alleged leak were saying the FBI had been monitoring suspicious communications tied to a celebrity entertainment circle, and Chrisean's name popped up like a red flag in a pile of fireworks. No one knew what those communications meant, but the phrasing alone was enough to send the blogs into meltdown mode. Suddenly, every fight video, every viral argument, every dramatic tear on Instagram Live looked like evidence. People were zooming in on blurry screenshots like, wait, is that a burner phone? Conspiracy YouTubers were already uploading breakdowns with red arrows, creepy background music, and titles like The Dark Side of Chrisean Rock, FBI Files Exposed. And just like that, Chrisean wasn't trending for her music, her relationship, or her new baby. She was trending for alleged murder. But how did it even get this far? How did a wild personality known for throwing hands and breaking hearts end up entangled in a whisper of federal investigation? Well, buckle up. The story supposedly began months ago, when an underground blogger posted something cryptic. There's more to Chrisean's circle than meets the eye. Nobody paid attention after all. Bloggers love drama. But a few weeks later, an anonymous account began dropping what looked like screenshots of emails, voice notes, and text threads that mentioned a plan, money owed, and a cleanup. It sounded like straight-up movie dialogue, but the timestamps, names, and contact details, way too specific to ignore now. This is where it gets really twisted. According to the supposed leaked messages, someone identified only by the initials CR had been arranging payments for handling a situation. And as every gossip outlet knows, the internet doesn't need confirmation, it just needs two matching letters to start. A full-blown digital manhunt. Q, the outrage machine. Fans started connecting CR to Chrisean Rock faster than you could refresh your feed. By the time her team issued a vague no comment, it was already too late. The internet had decided its own verdict, guilty until proven innocent. Or at least until the next scandal dropped. Meanwhile, memes were flying left and right. One Twitter user posted a photo of Chrisean holding a mic with the caption, "When the rap career doesn't work out, she starts doing missions for the FBI." Another wrote, "Chrisean Rock's next single, hit list FT the Feds. Savage, ridiculous, and absolutely viral." But behind the memes, people were genuinely freaking out. Because the rumor didn't just stop at the idea of being named. It escalated fast. Several insiders claimed that the FBI was reviewing footage from a certain event connected to Ronnie Doe's last known appearance. And guess who was allegedly spotted in the background of one of those videos? Yup, Chrisean herself. Coincidence? The internet doesn't believe in those dots. Now, depending on who you ask, Ronnie Doe was either a small-time promoter, a music engineer, or some guy who used to handle business for someone in Chrisean's orbit. Nobody could agree on his role, but everyone agreed on one thing. His sudden disappearance months ago had never been explained. And now with this FBI connection. Fans were convinced they were watching a real-life episode of Power unfold. Even rival influencers jumped in. Some said it was karma. Others claimed it was a setup. A few dramatic souls even started fake GoFundMes titled "Justice for Ronnie Doe." Meanwhile, Chrisean, silent, not a word, not a tweet, not an Insta story. The Queen of Chaos, the undisputed live stream gladiator, suddenly went quiet. And that's when people knew something was off. Because silence from Chrisean Rock, that's louder than any confession. Her fans started defending her, saying she was being targeted by the industry. Conspiracy threads claimed the FBI was being used as a distraction from bigger celebrity crimes. Others said this was all a PR stunt cooked up too. Promote a new single because in 2025, nothing boosts streams like a scandal involving handcuffs. But then came the twist no one expected. A leaked document, allegedly from federal channels, surfaced on Reddit. Heavily redacted, full of jargon, but crystal clear on one thing. The name Rock, was listed under persons of interest. Whether it was real or just the best Photoshop job of the year, that image spread like wildfire. Suddenly, every YouTuber, TikToker, and reaction channel went nuclear. Thumbnails with Chrisean's mugshot edits, FBI logos, red sirens, and bold text screaming "investigation confirmed" dominated everyone's feed. One commentator even said, "Bro, this is bigger than Tory Lanez versus Megan. This is hip-hop meets true crime." And honestly, they weren't wrong. This wasn't just celebrity drama anymore. It was turning into a cultural event. The kind that makes people forget the stock market, world politics, or their rent due date. Everyone wanted to know, did Chrisean really do something? Or is she the latest victim of the internet's obsession with chaos? The lines were blurring and the rumor mill was spinning so hard it might have powered Los Angeles. Even Blueface, the eternal lightning rod, was reportedly staying quiet for once, which in itself was suspicious. Because when Blueface shuts up, you know something's brewing by the end of the first 24 hours. Chrisean Rock FBI had over 100 million combined views across platforms. TikTok was flooded with dramatic reenactments, AI leaked audios, and creators analyzing body language from old interviews like they had FBI badges of their own. The entire internet turned into a digital courtroom, and the verdict was chaos. No one knew what was true, what was fake, or if the FBI even said her name at all. But one thing was certain, the story had taken on a life of its own. The line between fact and fantasy was gone, replaced by a cinematic scandal too wild to ignore. And just when everyone thought they'd seen it all, the real madness began. What came next was a digital Armageddon. Within hours of the alleged FBI document leak, social media turned into a circus where everyone thought they were an attorney. A detective and a Hollywood screenwriter rolled into one. X was trending with hashtag Chris, EANFBI. hashtag justice for Ronnie Doe, and the gloriously unhinged hashtag free rock unless she did it. TikTok was worse. Every influencer with a ring light suddenly became an expert in criminal psychology. One creator in a silk robe started his video saying, "So, I studied federal law for 15 minutes on Google, and here's what really happened." Another posted a slow-motion montage of Chrisean fights with captions like, "We should have seen this." Coming, it was the digital equivalent of throwing gasoline on a wildfire and calling it journalism. Meanwhile, celebrities couldn't resist chiming in. Blueface, always allergic to silence, tweeted, "Stop dragging my name in this. I mind my own felonies." Within seconds, his mentions exploded. Carlissa, his mom, and the unofficial president of Online Chaos jumped into a live rant that made Shakespearean tragedy look polite. She accused everyone, the feds, the blogs, even the neighbors, of conspiring against her baby. Fans clipped the whole thing and titled it Carlissa versus the FBI Round 1. Versus the FBI Round 1. Then came the industry reactions. Cardi B tweeted something vague about fake friends and real cases, which people instantly twisted into a Chrisean subtweet. Nicki Minaj fans replied with the popcorn emoji. Even Lil Durk liked a meme that said, "When you think you wild but the FBI think you wilder." The shade was national news level. Every podcast in the culture sphere had an emergency episode. Hosts played courtroom music under their intros. Others debated if Chrisean was a product of fame or just straight up unhinged. One viral soundbite had a commentator shouting, "This ain't Zeus Network anymore. This is Zeus FBI." But then the plot twisted again. A so-called insider claimed the deadly plot wasn't about murder at all. It was about money laundering through a fake event. According to the rumor, Ronnie Doe had been managing side deals gone wrong. And when one didn't go as planned, chaos unfolded. Suddenly, the narrative shifted from Chrisean ordered a hit to Chrisean might have been framed in a dirty money scheme. Cue the conspiracy theorists. Some said the FBI was after someone bigger and using Chrisean's fame as bait. Others swore this was a distraction from Hollywood's secret elite ring. TikTok detectives started connecting this to Diddy, Jay-Z, even random YouTubers who once took photos with Blueface. The comment sections looked like a CIA bulletin board. And while all this was going down, Chrisean finally broke her silence, sort of. At 3 a.m., she went live on Instagram, sitting in dim light with dramatic music playing in the background. Her first words, "I don't care what the FBI say, God got me." Boom, instant meme. Within minutes, that clip had millions of views. People edited it into gospel remixes, drill beats, even AI-generated courtroom parodies. One remix literally hit the Apple Music trending charts. But that wasn't all. During the same live stream, she allegedly dropped cryptic lines like "they tried to set me up and somebody's snitching." Those two phrases alone created a week's worth of content for gossip channels. Some fans believed she was pointing at Blueface. Others thought it was her former manager, and a few swore she meant the FBI itself. The wildest part. As the hysteria peaked, a news anchor from a local station tried to report the story seriously, only to get interrupted by comments spamming "Free Chrisean" on the live broadcast feed. The anchor looked like she wanted to quit journalism right there in the middle of this madness. One thing became clear: the culture had changed. Scandal wasn't news anymore. It was entertainment currency. Every repost, every reaction, every clown emoji comment kept the algorithm humming. Chrisean's followers actually grew by 2 million during the frenzy. The FBI might have been investigating her, but the internet was promoting her. And that's the scary beauty of 2025. The line between villain and viral star doesn't exist anymore. You can be accused of a felony at noon and drop a mixtape at 3 p.m. with the same hashtag by the end of the week. 3 different exclusive leaks surfaced, each contradicting the last. One said she confessed, one said she fled, and one said she was collaborating with the feds on a bigger target. It's time a new theory appeared. The timeline reset, the outrage rebooted, and the memes got meaner. The story wasn't just trending, it had become digital oxygen. People needed it. The outrage, the laughs, the chaos, it was addictive. And just when everyone thought this saga had reached its peak, the real bombshell dropped. A viral account posted a video titled, "The FBI File Confirmed," claimed to show actual surveillance footage of a meeting between Ronnie Doe and someone who looked like Chrisean. The video was grainy. The date was cropped, and the face was blurry, but the internet didn't care. "That's her walk," someone wrote. "You can tell by the energy." Another commented, "Her aura, screaming guilty." In hours, the clip racked up 20 million views. It didn't matter that fact-checkers debunked it later as recycled footage from a 2019 club video. The myth was already stronger than the truth. And through it all, the internet had one burning question. If the FBI really did name Chrisean, why hadn't she been arrested yet? The silence from authorities only made things worse. Every minute of no update felt like confirmation then. An alleged FBI insider, probably someone's cousin on Reddit, claimed there was a bigger move coming. The post ended with 5 words that reignited every timeline. "The warrant drops this weekend. Cue the panic. Cue the watch parties. Cue the chaos." Everyone waited, glued to their phones, half terrified, half entertained. Some even started countdown streams on TikTok titled Operation Free Rock. And when the weekend came and nothing happened, the internet just shrugged and said, "Well, maybe next week," 'cause that's how modern scandals work. Truth optional. Entertainment guaranteed. But little did anyone know, the calm after the storm wasn't peace. It was the setup for the next explosion by the time the dust almost settled. Chrisean Rock's name had become the internet's favorite curse word, prayer request, and punchline all at once. It didn't even matter whether she was guilty, innocent, framed, or just vibing. The court of public opinion had already built its own FBI judge and executioner, all using TikTok filters and voiceovers, but here's where it went from wild to historic. The same online mob that had roasted her mercilessly suddenly started turning because the story was crumbling from the inside. Screenshots were being debunked. The so-called federal file was traced back to a Discord group with a username like Agent Boogie 123. Reporters started quietly deleting tweets. And the same people who had sworn Chrisean was done for were now screaming setup. Louder than fans at a Drake concert. That's when Chrisean made her move. She didn't drop a statement. She didn't release a press conference. Nope. She posted a music video titled Plot Twist. The thumbnail. A woman in handcuffs smiling. The lyrics. Let's just say if diss tracks could file restraining orders, this one would need one. The chorus repeated, "You can't cancel what's chosen, baby, I'm God's favorite headline." And just like that, she flipped a script. Suddenly being named by the FBI wasn't a scandal. It was branding. The video trended #1 on YouTube within an hour. News outlets that once dragged her were now quoting her lyrics, like scripture. Even Rolling Stone ran a piece titled, "The Woman Who Turned Federal Heat into Platinum Streams." You can't make this up, and yet somehow Chrisean just did. But let's rewind. Remember Ronnie Doe, the mysterious figure at the center of all this? Yeah, it turns out he wasn't so mysterious after all. After weeks of whispers, someone from his old team came forward claiming Ronnie wasn't dead, just off the grid in Miami, hiding from unpaid debts. And the so-called hit the FBI was allegedly investigating. Apparently, that was just a bad business fallout over a music showcase gone wrong. Once that detail dropped, everything imploded. The FBI never confirmed naming Chrisean, not once. The official leak came from a parody account. And the alleged witness testimony, straight out of a YouTube comments section. The biggest scandal in the game turned out to be one of the internet's best delusions. Still, Chrisean wasn't about to let a little thing like truth ruin her moment. She went live again, this time with diamonds flashing. Sipping champagne, saying they tried to bury me, didn't know I was the headline. The comments section was a mix of worship and chaos. Queen of controversy, federal princess. FBI's worst nightmare. Someone even started selling shirts that said, "I survived the Chrisean investigation." Brands took notice. Within days, she'd landed a deal for a documentary series titled Rock Solid, the story they tried to bury. The trailer dropped like a bomb dramatic narration. Slow-motion tears and a tagline that read, "When the system came for her." She made it a soundtrack. Meanwhile, the internet moved on. The same energy that made her trend for FBI drama was now busy, attacking another celebrity for eating pizza the wrong way. The world we live in, attention has an expiration date shorter than a TikTok trend. But the damage and the transformation was done. Chrisean wasn't just a name in a headline anymore. She was the headline. The chaos had rebirthed her career in the most twisted, genius, and disturbingly 2025 way possible. And the irony, the FBI probably wasn't even watching her. They were too busy investigating actual crimes while the internet staged its own still. Her story became a cautionary meme for every influencer, rapper, and celebrity with Wi-Fi access. Because in this new era, it's not the evidence that matters, it's the engagement. She'd gone from suspect to superstar in a single viral loop, proving once and for all, controversy isn't the downfall anymore. It's the fuel. So whether she was framed, targeted, or just played the internet like a fiddle, one fact remains: Chrisean Rock just made history. Not by beating the FBI, but by beating the algorithm. And as the digital smoke cleared, one chilling thought lingered in everyone's mind. If this was fake, what happens the day it's real? And that, my friends, is the digital definition of madness, where a federal rumor becomes a marketing plan and a scandal turns into a soundtrack. Whether you believe the FBI actually dropped her name or you think the internet was just bored again, one thing's for sure: Chrisean Rock just did the impossible. She weaponized chaos and made it profitable. So before you scroll away to the next circus, ask yourself, are you watching the downfall of a celebrity? Or the birth of a genius brand strategist who just outplayed an entire generation? Because if this was a game, Chrisean just hit legendary mode. But hey, don't act innocent. You loved every second of it. You clicked, you commented, you refreshed like your rent depended on it. And now you're here, still watching, wondering what comes next. Spoiler alert, the next scandal is already loading. Somewhere, some celebrity just sent the wrong DM. And by morning, I'll be trending. So do what real detectives of the drama world do. Smash that like button like it owes you money. Drop your wildest theory in the comments and subscribe before the next celebrity meltdown hits. Because on this channel, Expose Express, we don't do calm. We do chaos, controversy, and the kind of drama that makes reality TV look like nap time. Turn on those notifications, because when the next FBI leak drops, you'll want front row seats. And remember, in a world where fame and fear trade places overnight, staying tuned is the only way to stay sane. This isn't news. This is Expose Express.